Welcome, listeners and viewers, to another episode on Rising Above Shadows of Abuse, Rasa. I'm your host, Graceovba. This is where we discuss topics relating to abuse, mental health, society, and culture. Today's episode, our next newsreel is from the Black Enterprise, dated the 2nd of December 2024, by Cheryl Burt. Black women and girls who were victims of former Kansas detective Roger Golubski will finally be able to tell their story as preparation for the federal trial begins, Associated Press reports. The jury selection for the Golubski trial will begin on December the 2nd in a federal courthouse in the state capital of Topeka. Golubski, who is white, is accused of sexually assaulting black women and girls for decades and then terrorizing those who fought back. Prosecutors allege women who were residents in poor neighborhoods were fearful if they crossed paths with the ex-cop. He is accused of demanding sexual favors, and if they didn't oblige, would threaten jail time or harm to them or family members. Golubski is charged with 6 felony counts of violating women's civil rights and has since pleaded not guilty. His attorney, Chris Joseph, labeled the allegations as being fabricated. However, victims claim otherwise. Jamaica Hobbs, who will not sit in as a witness at the trial but filed a separate lawsuit, says she was groomed to be one of the kid's girls. She claims she gave in to the former detective's wishes so he wouldn't bust her for drug use. Another victim alleges the sexual assault began when she was approximately 13 years old. Another after her sons were arrested. Every time I turn around, I'm looking, Hobbs said. I'm thinking somebody is after me. I have no peace at all. According to Kansas City Star, both women tell stories of rape and sexual misconduct between the 1990s and early 2000s. They claim Golubski repeatedly forced himself on them in his patrol vehicle or inside their homes after threatening them. The case has heightened the massive distrust between predominantly black communities and law enforcement. One neighborhood Golubski reigned over is listed as one of the Kansas' second poorest zip codes. The 71-year-old, it is added to a lengthy list of prosecution of similar abuse allegations across state lines, resulting in hundreds of officers losing their badges after accusations of sexual assault. The trial is the largest addition in the county's prosecutors' $1.7 million efforts to re-examine cases during his 35-year tenure with the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department, KCKPD, including a double murder case resulting in an exoneration and an organization run by hip-hop mogul Jay-Z suing to get their hands on police records. Fellow former KCKPD officer Max Seifert sealed off the department for having a boys will be boys mentality, describing how misconduct was often tolerated. He said Golubski's ex-wife once complained of her then husband's desire to solicit prostitutes and was once caught having sex with a woman in his office. Jim McCloskey, founder of the nonprofit Centurion, which works to free innocent people, described Golubski during a court as the dirtiest cop I've ever encountered. Backing up claims, Klopski caught wind of Golubski's alleged way after Lamont McIltar, arrested in 1994 at just 17, began writing to him. McIltar was arrested and charged in connection with a double homicide. Although he had an alibi, there was no physical evidence linking him and an eyewitness pointing the finger at a notorious drug dealer. Since then, Golubski and the dealer have been charged in a separate federal case of running a violent sex trafficking operation. If a jury convicts him, Golubski will spend the rest of his life in prison. Listeners and viewers, what do you think? If found guilty, should he be put behind bars for life and possibly put on the sex offenders register? Listeners and viewers, leave your comments as relates to this newsreel. Thank you.